Happy Friday, everyone. It's Film Threat Live on a Friday. Today, lots of movies to review. The Devil Wears Prada 2, Animal Farm, Hokum, Rennie Harlin's new movie, Deep Water. Yes, I saw it. There was only one screening of the movie, and I was there. And Alan is also here. He's here somewhere. I can't. Where is he?
Alan!
Hey!
At least someone's on time.
Yeah.
You're here.
Good job, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, I also failed to mention we have an interview with Owen Squire Smith, who is early and should come back in 90 minutes. So,
yeah,
just
10:30 a.m. our time.
10:30 a.m. Pacific time was in the instructions. So please come back.
Yeah. But you can go on YouTube and watch the show. There he goes.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. So apparently this is a great day for Chris.
What am I? Frozen?
Everything's zippity doo dah. Everything's going your way.
Wait, am I frozen?
No. But
Be clear.
I can sense the slow decline of Chris.
Yeah, of just like everything going wrong. I have this well planned out show, and then everything goes awry.
Yep.
And
yeah, I like the looseness of.
I'm looking
not being
at the headlines that I put in our news, and not all of them are there. So what I need to do is stop and then put them in so that we can continue with the show. If that's a job I should be doing, then please let me know. Okay. So I just put it in the order of the news items. Okay. So there we go. Yeah. So
Folks, get ready for the ride.
By the way, I bought a new camera. I bought the exact same camera I already have.
Yeah.
Please let me know if I freeze. Please let me know.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have all the packaging, right? All the original packaging.
Oh, I do. Ready to return it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm ready to return it.
Get ready to do that.
Let's just say hi to people. Obviously, I'm in a good mood.
Here we go. Aaron Sharon. Happy Friday, chat.
Hey, happy Friday, Aaron. Hey, wait.
Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was not in front of me.
It's all good, man.
All right. Christopher Moonlight Productions. Happy Friday. My newest AI article is on the Film Threat website. Are my best yet. Okay, round sentence. And I'm working on new ones about Higgsfield's AI's feature film, as well as how Jordan Peterson nails the nature of art and AI.
There you go. And I love how we have the biggest text you can select, which completely covers Alan's face.
Yeah, but at least I can read what.
Well, that's true. Well, if you can read, that's the best part.
Yeah. Lord Comet for 2. Hi, Chris Gore and Alan. Long time no see. Hey, Lord Comet.
Hey, thanks, Lord Comet.
Look at you, cute little. Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. Alan's windshield wiper repair fund. All right, so we are at 794.
We're getting there.
I know. I got Andrew Cram gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you.
Check out our members only videos.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you.
And from the great and mighty Lord Thoth, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram, buy our merch, shop.filmthreat.com.
Yeah, here it is. And just also, please, if you watched our live streams or whatnot, please subscribe to the channel. Help us grow the channel. We've there have been challenges. There have been challenges
set forth by YouTube themselves.
Yeah, and it's not going well. Let's just say that for a lot of people. It's like whack-a-mole with people that we know in the space that their channels are spiraling. So, I mean, we're doing fine, but I think everyone is struggling, and it is what it is. Couple more here.
All right. Jason Nelson for 2. Would you say that The Devil Wears Prada 2 is the worst of modern Hollywood?
You know what?
Should we save that? Let's save that.
Let's put a pin in that, Jason. Thank you for that. We'll get
Andrew Cranford 10, Alan's windshield repair fund. So we're at 786.
I love that.
Again, I need to call my insurance company and see what get things in order.
Yeah. Hey, let's kick it off with this. Brad Pitt as Nerdrotic. Could that actually happen? I have a video to show from our friend at Animation Vault.
Yeah. Well, let's just say that Nerdrotic has a book that could be easily made into a movie.
Yes.
And I believe we have cast the star.
Well, I suggested, because I saw a photo actually of Jonah Hill, and he looks like the spitting image of Gary, except he looks, I don't think he's as handsome as Gary is.
Yeah.
But
like if Gary let himself go,
he would look like Jonah Hill does currently. But our Animation Vault put this together, and you got to see it to believe it. This was from the Nooner on Wednesday, and he not only did this little short, it's 1 minute, he also kind of cast the characters from FNT as other actors. It's 1 minute. Let's watch it. Is Jonah Hill going to play Nerdrotic? Your life story is an inspiring story, and I think it would make a great movie.
Oh boy!
All right, thanks, Brad. Could Brad Pitt pull it off?
Brad Pitt.
Put on the glasses and a beard. Brad Pitt.
So, boys, is really bad. And
the episode also undermined the overall arc of this whole thing
Chad
of how
Jackson.
difficult it is to kill Homelander.
Getting manipulated, and now they're all angry, so they're all feelings to each other.
Seems to undermine its main plot because I still don't really know where this, like, what the point of the series is. What
Jensen Ackles is probably the only character left with fan base that people want to go and watch.
So you talk like that.
It is just like dental surgery because she's paralyzed her mouth. A bit of a stupid thing to do as an actress, really.
I want to make this happen. We need to make this happen. Subscribe to Animation Vault. It's great. It's hilarious. He's taking like real audio from other shows and making little cartoons out of it, and I think it's amazing. Good job. I would like to see a movie made from Gary's book, only because it would annoy him.
Yeah.
It would annoy him.
I want to see the great falling off the ladder scene in that movie.
Or the scene where he twists his foot playing football. It's fairly gruesome the way it's described.
Or he punches a blind guy out in prison.
Resident Evil has a new trailer, and this is from Zach Kreger, who did Weapons, and he did Barbarian. And one thing, we did see this trailer already at CinemaCon, and I got to say about it, it doesn't look like Resident Evil at all. It looks like a very good horror film that has zombies. It doesn't look like Resident Evil. None of the characters, none of the iconic things that you would see. Monsters may be inspired by Resident Evil, but I don't understand how they can't get. If you're gonna make a movie of the game, make it like the game. So I've already seen this. You and I both have already seen this. Let's check it out. Here we go.
Hello? I had a little bit of a problem on the road. I was wondering if I could use your phone. Hello?
Yes, we're sorry.
Hey, babe. Look, I'm really sorry that we got disconnected earlier, but some things have happened. I'm in like a seriously fucked up situation right now. And it looks like there's a chance that we might not get to talk to each other again. I just wanted you to know. I love you.
All right, so coming out in September, I kind of feel like what people want out of a game movie is that it be accurate to the game. Now, who knows? Maybe we just saw an opening scene. It's not, we're only getting a tease or just a bit of it, first third of the movie until things start to feel. I've only ever played the first couple Resident Evil games, like way back when.
Yeah.
Like way back.
Yeah. I mean, I never played the game. I don't know much about the game. So let me ask you this question. The impression I got from the trailer was maybe these are the cut scenes of Resident Evil 12. Some story down the road. But we're seeing the cut scenes of just this guy who's going into this house because his car is in trouble and then unleashes whatever, the zombie menace or whatever.
I mean, look, it might very well be a good zombie movie, but not a good Resident Evil movie. Like we saw Lee Cronin's Mummy, which I did not like, was originally supposed to be an Exorcist film. It's supposed to be the sequel to that reboot of The Exorcist. So maybe Zach Cregger had a good zombie story.
Yeah, and they need to juice it up by giving it the Resident Evil brand.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Barbarian and Weapons, both of them. Really great original horror films. What he probably did was he wrote something original and sort of put the skin of Resident Evil on it. But yeah, I don't think it doesn't remind me of the game that I played.
Okay, so remove the game. What did you think of the trailer?
If you take the game out of it, it's actually a good trailer knowing who did it.
Yeah.
I like Zach Cregger. So, I don't know. I mean, I'll see it, but this is what's going to be weird. I think it could be really good, just not a good Resident Evil.
Yeah. I mean, my impression is, I've seen this trailer before for many times for many different movies.
All right.
Yeah.
Guess what? Mandalorian and Grogu is coming, and Hasbro has released the Ultimate Grogu, and it's $600.
$600. Look at that.
Already sold out.
Wow.
Apparently, there's a little video. It's a deluxe premium version of Grogu in the armor as seen in the movie. Here's a short video. Well, it's maybe a little longer than short. We'll watch most of this, not all of it. But here's an unboxing. He's in the armor. He moves. I guess he makes noises. Let's watch it.
This is Hasbro's Ultimate Grogu. All right, let's get him going.
Okay, so it's
don't be shy. They're friendly.
So he moves and he's animatronic.
Like Vicky said, this is Ultimate Grogu, unlike we have ever done him before. He has over 250 different animations. I know, it's so exciting. He loves to show off with his 4 motors and 14 different sensors that really help him feel, like we said, like he toddled off the screen into our room here today. So We've got that really signature motion, so he feels like he's coming together. Getting this title right was one of the things that we prioritized to make him feel like he was a real character, along with those other really big
All right,
moments.
Alan, are you paying
Yeah.
$600 for this?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I used to be a very big collector, like these type of things. The feeling I get is I'll pay $600 for this, and then in a month it'll break, and I'll have no idea how to fix it.
Exactly. It looks like a really expensive toy that will get broken.
Yeah, it'll be fun for the first week, and then it'll break, and I'll be frustrated as hell.
Yeah, and also I think for something that expensive for kids, they're just gonna. This is probably
you're gonna give this to a kid.
Yeah, I'm not giving it to
It's going to a kid.
Apparently,
you really want it to break. Give it to a kid.
Now, apparently, though, it is already sold out for pre-orders. So I don't know how many they're making. Seems very limited edition. You can see he's got the little blue macaroon they showed earlier, a little blue macaroon treat snack.
Yeah. Well, my guess is Dave Filoni bought them all and is not going to give it to all his friends. And so
that could work.
Yeah.
That could work. I just feel like, and now we're hearing the estimates that opening weekend, which is Memorial Day weekend, same date that Solo opened, it's going to open lower than Solo. I think Solo was like 102 around there, 102 million weekend box office. Yeah. They're looking at like 80.
Yeah, because Han Solo is at least a known character for well over 2 decades.
Well, I think the thing that's going to hurt it, we've discussed it, is TV. You know what I mean? Oh, you can see the motors and the feet moving. Looks kind of, that's weird.
Yeah, but I don't think it actually walks.
No, it does. We saw it.
I mean, I think it acts like it's walking, but it doesn't move forward.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, I don't know. I mean, is that even the idea that they're hyping that it's sold out? Is that going to add to the hype?
I mean, look, I think it's pretty cool. If I had faith and confidence that it wouldn't break on me after a month, I would, I would put it on the list. But I think to the point of, comparing it to Solo, again, Solo is an established character. People know that. How many people saw The Mandalorian? And is that enough to really make a dent in the box office, become a box office hit like it should be, like a Star Wars movie should be? And I think the answer is no.
I think the thing that is going to hurt it is it's a TV show.
Yeah. That no one watched.
Well, no one, the ratings dipped third season. I think people were like, thought, it's fine for a TV show. The second season, things kind of went off the rails. Then they ended it and Grogu was gone. Then they brought Grogu back in third season, which made no sense. And I think it's like people might be done with it. You know what? Here's why it may do well. What else is coming out that weekend? And weather may be a factor. If Memorial Day weekend is a rainy weekend and you can't go to barbecues and do outdoor things, you're going to go to the movies. And what's the one movie we can all agree on? I don't mean the movie we all want to see. The one movie the whole family can go, all right, we'll just go to this because everyone's okay with that. And I think that's where it could do well. I think weather will be a factor.
Yeah. I think it's going to, I don't think it's going to do great opening weekend, but if the movie is actually good, it will build momentum. But the movie has to be good for that to happen.
Evangeline Lilly calls out Disney for recent layoffs. Did you hear about this?
I did, actually.
Okay. Well, I mean, Josh D'Amaro has been a controversial figure since, he's gotten at the company. He's obviously got to make some tough choices here. Let's take a look at this from Discussing Film. Let me share screen here, Alan, so you can get this. She called them out because they laid off a bunch of people also from Marvel in the effects department. The people that got them there. She says, "Shame on you for turning your back on the people who built the power you are now using to throw them away." Here we go.
Studios just took the worst of it. Yesterday, the company laid off approximately 1,000 employees company-wide, and nearly the entire visual development team at Marvel was let go.
Before I spread this post, when I saw it on social media, I needed to fact check it. So I reached out to my good friend, Andy Park, who was the genius behind creating the original Wasp supersuit and the original Wasp concept drawings for the film Ant-Man and the Wasp, and just said, "Is this true? Is this really what's happening?" And he said, "Yeah, it's true. I have been let go." And I can't quite believe that Disney have let go of the artists who brought the current Marvel universe to life through their imagination and their genius. That the people who invented these characters in the first place, who designed them in the first place, are now being replaced by AI. AI that will take their designs and take what those artists created and use it to create iterations of that. I am so sorry, Andy, and I am so sorry to every single one of the artists who were let go in the 1,000 artists that Disney fired, and particularly the entire team at Marvel who have been considered obsolete now after building the Marvel empire. If you're a huge fan of Marvel, just take a moment today to think about them, to send up a prayer for them, to honor the people who created the world that you fell in love with. That was a human invention. These were human creations. And they shouldn't be stolen by tech giants so that their robots can replicate them. I think it's disgusting and horrible. And I stand with all the artists, and Andy, I'm so sorry. And I love you guys.
That is a class statement right there. When do you see the talent go to bat for the people behind the scenes? That was amazing. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, two things. One, people got fired. Why? Because of bad decision of executives.
Yes.
The people in charge. If the people, the creatives, the executives in charge were making good movies, this would never happen or wouldn't happen. The other thing is now that it's done, I could be totally wrong on this, but I think Disney is moving in the direction of independent contractors. It's not like they're firing the VFX department. They are firing the VXF department, but when the next movie comes along, they'll hire them back as independent contractors and get the same kind of work. And so, I'm sure there's, let's just say, I think this is the direction the studios are going to go in, where you don't have unpaid staff. You don't have to worry about healthcare. You don't have to worry about all that other stuff. You just pay them for the job. When the job's done, you let them go until the next job comes and they hire them back. And that just seems to me the way things are going at the moment. Less people on staff.
I agree with you. The independent contractor. That's what's going to happen. That is the way things are going. Now the industry was already that for production. Mm-hmm. Now it's going to be for everything. Is you're going to have to crew up, see who's available, see if they can come on and work for 6 weeks. What kind of life is that?
Yeah. Yeah, that your whole paycheck is now in bursts. I'm going to work 6 months, 6 weeks, get paid, and then sit around and wait for the next thing to come along.
Yeah, it's sad, but again, as you pointed out, bad executive decisions got them there. I love talking about James Bond. And here's something I'm not surprised about. Amazon has no idea what to do with James Bond. You know, we talked about what some of the casting may be. They've cast a director. They have Denis Villeneuve's next movie is going to be a Bond film. We don't know who Bond is going to be. This is from the Telegraph. Amazon don't know what to do with it. What's going on with James Bond? Alan, I know you have notes for this story.
Yes. More than a year after Amazon took creative control of James Bond, the series is drifting through its longest gap ever. The next film is likely years away, possibly 2028 or later, with no script, no casting, and no clear direction locked in. Officially, the studio says it's about getting it right. Director Denis Villeneuve needs a break after his Dune run, and writer Stephen Knight is still working on the script. Plus, after killing off Bond in No Time to Die, the franchise needs a full reset. Unofficially, there's a sense of confusion. Even insiders suggest Amazon MGM Studios may not have a clear plan for Bond should be next, raising questions about leadership and creative vision. Producers Amy Pascal and David Heyman are now steering the ship, replacing longtime Guardians Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson. Despite their blockbuster track record, Spider-Man, Harry Potter, updates have been minimal. Even major industry events have come and gone with no real announcement. CinemaCon, for one. With no concrete news, speculation runs wild. Cast rumors have included names like Jacob Elordi, Aaron Taylor Johnson, or my pick, Callum Turner, but nothing is confirmed. Experts say casting won't happen until the script is finished, and it isn't. Meanwhile, guesses about tone range from darker, grittier Bond to practically anything. The lack of direction has turned the franchise into a rumor factory. This isn't just creative paralysis, it's financial anxiety. Bond films are hugely expensive, and recent entries like Spectre and No Time to Die made less than hoped compared to the peak of Skyfall. Studio needs the next film to be a major hit, not just good enough. There's also fear of over-exploiting the brand, similar to the concerns about franchise fatigue seen elsewhere. Bond isn't just delayed, it's in a delicate rebuild phase. The studio is trying not to rush into a misfire, knowing the next film has to reset the tone, justify the investment, and prove the franchise still has bite.
Okay, well, I actually think I like Jacob Elordi as
Too
Bond.
tall.
I think he's too tall. It's going to cost. Jacob Elordi will look great, and everybody else will be standing on apple boxes.
I know.
Which is a trick in production when you're on a film set. They have these apple boxes, half a box, and actors routinely sort of even them out, or they use apple boxes for a number of things, and often used to even out actors so they seem they're at the same level. It's about eye lines and whatnot. Jacob Elordi would be great as Bond, but cause all sorts of problems when you're casting other parts, villains, ingenues, Bond girls. Aaron Taylor Johnson is probably the safe choice, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of meld to it. I like your pick of Callum Turner. I think is not traditional, but I'm not. It depends on what Denis Villeneuve is going to do with his character.
Yeah, I mean, look, my Bond is Roger Moore, and I'd like that suave, sophisticated ladies' man. I kind of, even Pierce Brosnan was similar to that as well.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan, underrated.
I know,
underrated.
Well, he was stuck in Remington Steel. That's why he got in the franchise. Oh, that's why Timothy Dalton had to step in.
Yeah, he couldn't get out of his contract with Remington Steel to do a movie. But I don't know, man. I do like that there are different like phases of Bond. Sean Connery will always be my Bond. I think Roger Moore took it more into jokey territory. I feel like he's like the Adam West of the, in terms of
the later Roger Moore movies, definitely.
The later ones,
the early ones were very serious.
Just got goofy. Like, I never forgot this line. I saw Moonraker in a theater as a kid, and Bond saves the day. It's an old movie. He's coming back to Earth from outer space, having won the day. And there's a line in there. What's Bond doing? He's attempting re-entry. And he's making out with a girl. I mean, I love this. Why not just do all the tropes? Bond in a lifeboat with a girl in a bikini. Like, just don't care what the world is doing. Just hit all the cliches and just do them all. Hot girls, gambling and casinos, tuxedos, intrigue, gunplay, all sorts of crazy Bond devices, jetpacks, ejector seats. Give it to me. I feel like they overcomplicate these things because they feel like they have to placate a modern audience. You don't. You know, you just go with every trope that made Bond.
That made it work.
Every trope that made Bond a franchise that has existed more than 60 years. I mean, it's crazy to me that they overthink this stuff. And the casting, they'll figure that out. I really think there might be an unknown that we haven't seen yet that is going to step in and be the Bond. I would bet that's where they go with that.
Well, I mean, Daniel Craig, Timothy Dalton, those were fairly unknowns or brought into the franchise. I mean, Pierce Brosnan, he was, when you watched him in Remington Steele, all you could think of is that's James Bond.
Yeah.
So it was destined casting with Pierce Brosnan. So here's my take on this. The article here says they don't know what they're doing. Well, and they're taking their time. Well, yeah, good. Take your time. Do it right. Can you imagine what if Disney bought Star Wars and immediately said, we got to get a movie out right away? What do you think would happen?
They'd make a bad movie like they did.
They would make a trilogy of bad movies. And the problem with the trilogy of those bad movies is there was no plan because they rushed it. Because no one sat down and said, okay, what are we going to do with Star Wars? Where's it going to start and where's it going to end after the third movie? No, Disney bought Star Wars for way too much money and needed to get their investment back. And so they rushed the first movie. Then they rushed the second movie and then rushed the third movie. Do you want that with Bond? Look, yes, Amazon paid a lot of money to get creative control on it. And so there is pressure to get the return on that money. But at the same time, do we really want Amazon to rush it? And to Amazon's credit, at CinemaCon, they brought up Bond, and they said we have nothing to announce because we want to do it right. And good for them. Take your time, get it right. Because once you start succumbing to pressure, that's when it all falls apart.
I agree. 100%. Hey, a couple more news stories, and we have a lot of films to review today. A lot. Summer 2026 box office could top 4.2 billion. Here's what will hit and what may miss. This is from was this from Deadline?
Looks like it.
Yeah. Give me the story, Alan.
All right. After a flat 2025 box office of 3.6 billion
from the Wrap. I'm sorry, Alan.
Okay.
Apologies.
After a flat 2025 box office, 3.6 billion, studios are hoping 2026 finally breaks past the $4 billion point again, possibly hitting 4.2 billion thanks to more movies, stronger franchises, and big name directors. Early 2026 momentum is encouraging, with hits like Project Hail Mary showing theaters can sustain multiple successful films at once. The summer might start cautiously. The Mandalorian and Grogu expected to perform modestly, and other Memorial Day releases likely won't match last year's record-breaking holiday. Analysts predict May could land around 1.1 billion, similar to 2025. June brings the first real surge. Momentum should build with the mix of films targeting different audiences, but the biggest driver is Toy Story 5, expected to draw strong turnout from both nostalgic adults and families. His performance could set the tone for the rest of the summer. Several wildcards could swing the season. Disclosure Day tests whether Steven Spielberg still has the major box office pull. Supergirl will show if audiences are still invested in superhero reboots. July is packed with heavy hitters. Minions and Monsters aims at another family hit. The Odyssey could be one of the biggest films of the year, following Oppenheimer. Moana is expected to succeed despite online skepticism. August closes with major franchise power. Spider-Man Brand New Day is projected as a potential billion-dollar global hit. And the big picture is the ingredients for a summer blockbuster are there. Strong lineups, diverse audiences, and big franchises. But success just depends on consistency. A few flops could derail momentum just like last year. If quality holds, 2026 could feel like a return to pre-pandemic box office glory. If not, it's another reminder that hype alone doesn't sell tickets.
Well, I mean, we already know what some of the flops are probably going to be. A Supergirl, I think, being the biggest one that comes to mind. I don't see that movie doing well. I think the Odyssey, I mean, it could be like Tenet, where it doesn't really have the momentum of Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Or it could be like Oppenheimer, where we underestimated it going in.
Right.
And then went right after it.
I think based on the casting that has been criticized, I don't know. I have concerns about the Odyssey.
Are you saying Zendaya is going to tank 3 movies this year?
No. I think Spider-Man will do well. Scary Movie 6, look, it wasn't made for $100 million. Scary Movie 6 will do fine.
It'll be profitable.
It looks very fun. They didn't spend a lot of money. Based on the trailers we've seen, they really hit that old school kind of we don't care who we offend comedy. I love it.
Yeah, Toy Story 5, if it's a mediocre movie, it will make $1 billion.
Yes, if it's a mediocre movie, it'll make $1 billion. So there you go. Alan, it's time we talk to the people and we get their comments. We have a lot of films to review. We might have a few more news stories depending. And do you have any video and stuff you can show from what we did? Yeah,
I have photos I can show.
Let's do it at the end of the show.
Okay.
We have a treat for you. Alan and I went out yesterday.
Yeah.
We hung out together and we did something. And we have pictures.
We have video.
And
it'll be on RedTube anytime soon.
Of what we did. We have it. And we will share some of that with you at the end of the show as a treat. So let's go to some comments here.
Jason Nelson.
Sorry. I'm going to save that,
Yeah,
Jason,
that's
for
right.
when we talk about. Okay, yeah.
Uncle Jimmy Jam, number 10, received notification. Attack of the Dock arrives at my house by the 6th. Can't wait to watch it. Have a great weekend, guys.
I spent a lot of time on that Blu-ray. There's tons of extras on it. I'll just say this. There's an Easter egg on every menu page. So every page you go, I didn't make it hard to find them. Just move your little move around the screen. You'll find every Easter egg, and they're very fun. Thank you, Jimmy Jam.
And if it arrives on the 6th, go to Burger King, get yourself the Mandalorian meal.
They're here Monday.
Yeah, I know.
They're here on Monday.
You know what we're doing on Monday. Should we buy the meal before Versus and then
should we eat it on Versus? Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's eat Burger King on Versus.
Yeah.
And we'll get out the Mando to celebrate May the 4th. All right, join us on Versus Monday.
Okay, Joe Patton for 5. How funny. Last week, Alan covered Desert Warrior so unassumingly as the usual rounds for this channel, and now it's embroiled in so much controversy.
I'm unaware of the controversy. I mean,
I am unaware of it too.
It's a bad movie. I mean, Alan didn't like it. I didn't bother. It lost a lot of money. It was made for what, 100 million. It lost a ton of money.
It didn't even make $1 million.
It's bad. It's bad. But I think we're the only channel that covered it.
Mm-hmm.
We try to cover the films that are in limited release, and that was. But thank you for Joe Pat.
Yeah, well, I found out it's a Saudi release. The Saudis produced the movie and then got big stars to be in it. That could be the controversy. Lord Connor for 2. If this is RE style,
Resident
Evil style, you'll believe I'm Elvis.
I'll believe you're Elvis too. More comments here from members. We appreciate you guys.
Troy Knoll, member for 10 months. Happy Friday, Chris and Alan. Thank you for being a member.
Thank you for being a member.
And Beach Dad, another member for 5 months. It may not be James Bond, but maybe Janet Bond or Janessa Bond. It has to be tossed around.
Yeah, I agree. Probably there was talk of female Bond. Let's hope it never happens.
Why?
Just make something new. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to spend this much time not making a Bond movie, why would you screw it up by gender swapping it? Foolish American, a member for 8 months. A larger mole, better Clegg or Connolly?
Larger, more. Oh my God, that's a good one.
It's actually larger mole. 311 SC for 10. I worked for the Chili's Corporation, but my love of the Triple Dipper didn't save me from losing my job. I'm not Ralph's. I'm thriving. These artists will bounce back too. We are hiring, by the way.
Hey,
by the way, Chili's. I've never seen a restaurant fall so hard than Chili's. I used to eat there a lot. They changed their menu, and I don't eat there anymore.
Yeah, I and by the way, honest work at Ralph's. I worked at Burger King. I've worked in factories in Detroit that they printed out the giant blueprints for the auto companies, along with a lot of other. I worked at a gas station. I had newspaper routes from the time I was 9 through 19. Worked at a video store as a counter jockey, then thrown to the back to transfer home movies to video. I've had a lot of crap. I call them a mixed job. It's the job you have to get to where you want to be. And I think it is character building. I've also worked, at restaurants. I was a dishwasher. I've worked lots of jobs, different kind. And I appreciate whenever I, have a job I like, which I like the job I have now with Alan. Sure. Do we spar? Yes. Do I get cranky? Yes.
No.
Do you know who calls me out? Alan. And which is why he's my friend.
Yeah.
And so
keep you humble.
Yes, please. I gotta, yeah, but all those jobs taught me a lot.
Mad Dog for 499 for the hangover, pal. I got drunk last night too. Spent the morning doing yard work, but now it's 9:30 and I gotta attack the backyard. Ugh, have a day.
First of all, I love that. I'm renting now, so I don't do my own yard work. But when I had a yard to mow, I love that. I love mowing and doing yard work. I'd go, okay, I'm not going to gross anyone. I went shirtless. I'm probably wearing shorts, in flip-flops or whatever in my yard. Maybe this is a bad picture to put in people's minds. I should stop now. I'd be drinking. This is a weekend thing, by the way. I'm not driving anywhere. I would be drinking Coors Light, which I call the all-day beer, because you can drink it and really not get drunk, but it quenches your thirst. And that it's really hot outside. The smell of, mowing, the grass and I would trim the bushes and sweep up. And I miss that. I miss doing that.
No. Well, my entire backyard is a garden now.
And so now you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, but I'm doing vermicomposting, and my squash plant is huge. It's massive, and no pollinators have showed up yet. Nick Gore for Alan's windshield repair fund. So we're at 786.
We're getting close.
The 1A train for 10. You know what Bond needs? Sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
That would be great. Why don't they do stuff like that?
I know.
Make it over the top ridiculous.
Aspirations of mediocrity for 2. Chris, did the Sazy arrive okay?
That is called self-addressed stamped envelope. I am checking my mail today. I am certain
It's from
in
Canada.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah. Well,
damn. As long as you pay for it.
I'm checking my mail today. I'm going to see the MJ musical at the Pantages.
Oh.
I got
Actually,
one of
we'll
those.
be near each other then. I'll be
Yeah.
at the DGA for LA Asia.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be down the street, down Hollywood. You'll be on Sunset. So yeah, going to see the MJ musical. Perfect timing tonight, and then checking my mail. Yes, self-addressed stamped envelope. I'll send you gifts.
For those of you who are my age, if you watch the program Zoom, they would always call it Saisies.
Yeah.
Foolish American for 5. I worked at Circumcision Clinic. I got $20 an hour plus tips.
That is a joke that writes itself, Foolish American. Thank you for that. Appreciate all the generous soups today.
Yeah, boy, that's why my moil is rich. ADLS 24. Stop making Bond modern. He's distinctly retro.
Agreed. And Bond represents, I think, like reality. You can have all these high-minded ideals about, a utopian world, and it's like the reality is there are horrible people in this world, and they need to be taken out in sometimes brutal ways.
But at the same time, the world of espionage is so much different and interesting today than it was in the 60s. I mean, I think you could still make it modern, but you just got to make it grounded in terms of, us against them. And the question is, who is them? Are you going to play it safe, or are you going to, make some generic white supremacist as your foil?
Yeah.
Bill S. Preston, Esquire. Stop trying to make things a franchise. Just make one good movie.
Agreed.
Well, they all start with one good movie. Hindi Rap Guru. What if the F is difficult about? Oh, what the F is difficult about James Bond? Make a good spy film. Yeah, but I mentioned with Star Wars.
I agree.
Garth Knight returns. I think we'll see Disney piece by piece trimming production on the underperforming studios under them. Plus, this is also probably related to Doomsday's ridiculous budget.
Yes, you're right, Garth Knight.
No, I'll tell you what it is. DeMauro is cutting costs, getting Disney to bare bones, so that when he enacts his programs and his ideas, it can only go up, and it'll make him look like a great CEO. That's how these things work. Good old Tom Siebert. Evangeline Lilly was smart and he straight up badass. And I say that from inside Vax risk awareness moment, where she was a brave voice and caught a ton of shit for it. Yeah,
that's right.
She was also pro Canadian truckers.
Yep.
Joe Pat, the curse of Resident Evil, I guess. It's never going to represent the game.
True. And you'll see, it may very well be a good movie, not a good Resident Evil movie. That's my prediction.
Trish Page for 2. Who will play Kristen Allen in the Film Threat movie? Simu Liu.
Well, Trish, first of all, good to hear from you. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Well, the obvious choice, Brad Pitt for me.
And Simu Liu for me.
Jackie Chan or Simu Liu for Alan.
Yeah.
So there you go. I would say Simu Liu, and then for any of the stunts, Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan, yeah.
And no one will be able to tell. So there you go. Hey, let's get into our reviews. Alan, you and I both saw Animal Farm. This film has been, I read the book in school, and I don't know if they still read Animal Farm in school.
My daughter read it freshman year.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
They're still teaching it. I mean, I went to school so long ago. I used to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, back in that day, but read the book, found it fascinating. It's a funny animal story, but it's very dark. There have been other versions of Animal Farm made. In fact, you can find the original animated Animal Farm on YouTube, along with there was a live action version. I'm sure you heard of, Alan. But tell me,
not much.
Yes, but tell me about this incarnation from Angel Studios with the voice acting of Seth Rogen,
Woody Harrelson, Kieran Culkin, Laverne Cox, Glenn Close, Steve Buscemi, Andy Serkis, Jim Parsons, Kathleen Turner, Aman Vellani is in it as well.
Yeah, but tell me about this incarnation.
Okay, so what's happening is we are at Manor Farm, and movie starts with all the animals being herded into a truck, and they're going to go to the Laughter House. And what happened is the farmer, he fell behind on his payments, and now the bank has taken over the farm, and they're going to liquidate the stock, the livestock. One of the pigs, it is, I forget the name of the pig. It is not Puff, but Snowball, no, Lucky. Okay, so one of the pigs, Lucky, realizes he can read, realizes they're not going to the Laughter House, they're going to the slaughterhouse. And as a result, the animals revolt and escape, and they run off. But and as the bank leaves and as the dust settles, the animals decide, hey, we're going to run this farm. In fact, we're going to run it in a great way. We are going to run it as equals. All the animals on this farm are going to be equals. Everything we raise is going to be shared amongst everyone. We're going to set these rules. And they're fairly simple rules. Don't trust humans. Don't try to be like a human. Everything's equal. But if you don't follow these rules, there's serious consequences. You're going to get cast out of the farm. So the farm goes on. It's kind of working, but it's not. Some of the animals are lazy. Some of them are hard workers. And one of the animals, Snowball, says, hey, humans use electricity. I found these blueprints for a water wheel. And she gets Snowball gets Lucky to help her build a water wheel. But soon the evil pig Napoleon sees it, says, no, this wasn't approved by the collective. And but Snowball says, no, we need this. And they decide, nope, we're not going to do it. In fact, Snowball, you're a troublemaker, and they cast her out, never to be seen of again. And then what begins happening is, although these animals are equal, they begin separating by pigs, by sheep, by goats, by whatever. And soon the pigs start taking over. And the pigs start basically running the show. And if you're familiar with the themes of George Orwell, this is showing us how socialism turns into totalitarianism. And that's kind of what happens here.
And not just that, you see the evolution of Napoleon's character, Seth Rogen, which I still I miss the days when they hired voice actors.
Yeah,
voice actors, real people who
like
do
Jim Cummings, and
just get a real voice actor, a celebrity. It's a different set of skills. You have a star-studded cast. This movie did not need that. It would have benefited from real voice actors. I can't get over the Seth Rogen voice as Napoleon. But the funny thing is, animals can't wear clothes, and it's better if you're on 4 feet, but they change it to 2 feet. Napoleon starts standing on 2 feet, and he starts wearing clothes like a human. He becomes an elite.
Yeah,
so,
he becomes the thing they despised.
Yeah, and while this movie, I won't say it's a happy ending, but it's not a dark ending like the original story. They tried to sort of pin a happy ending on it. I cannot imagine taking a kid to this movie. They would be horrified at some of the things that happen in this film. The horse character played by Woody Harrelson ends up going to the glue farm.
Yeah,
there's all sorts of bad.
There's a lot of sad stuff in this.
This movie's bad for different reasons, I think, than people are criticizing. The politics is similar in spirit. You see the evil pigs take over and become, totalitarian in their pursuit of making a utopian society. It's bad for just bad jokes. They make a joke about glue and the horse. There's even a joke where Napoleon farts at the beginning of the movie. It says, when they have this revolution and all the animals take over the man-or farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Napoleon farts and says, "That's the sound of freedom," in a nod to one of Angel Studios' other movies. they're trying to make this tale whimsical and fun for kids, which is kind of subversive in its own right, but it does not work. It didn't work for me and made me seek out the other Animal Farm films. It's a very mature story, the original story, the book, and then the older animated classic. And there was a live action a few decades ago. But, I was not, I'm unconvinced. I think this just made me want to see the older films. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I did come in with a bias just because I've been hearing stories that it's anti-capitalist and it's, it falls off Orwell's themes and stuff like that. And so I came in very, very skeptical. And I think I walked away realizing, no, it really did. It held to it didn't really go deep into Orwell, but it held at least the idea and the concepts of what Orwell was bringing in to Animal Farm. But does that make a good movie? I think the reason I like the movie is because of the things it presented. But it's kind of like it. I think to your point, it fought between wanting to be a family film and a dark film. And when you are fighting that, you get a mediocre film. And that's what this is. This is a very mediocre film, but at least it says something. It says something about progressiveness. It says something about communism. Look, Orwell was a democratic socialist, and he died a democratic socialist. But even he knew the dangers of what happens if his party becomes a totalitarian party. And that's what Animal Farm was about. I'll direct you to a movie that I saw at Sundance, the last Sundance I went to, which was before the pandemic. It was called Mr. Jones. And Mr. Jones is a story of a reporter who goes into Russia to investigate the Russian famine and realizes that it was basically, communism at its worst, where the political elites were living high on the hog while the people were starving to death, providing food for the elites. And this journalist, Mr. Jones, goes through. He basically gets sucked up in being one of the peasants, and almost dies in the experience because he's, every time he tried to speak up for himself, he was threatened with death. And at the end of the movie, he meets up with George Orwell. They discuss his experiences, and that was the impetus for Animal Farm.
Oh wow!
So at least. I disagree with the people who think that this is not Orwell. It's Orwell light. It's Orwell for kids.
Orwell with fart jokes.
Yeah. But it is definitely a mediocre movie. So I think I lean on the bear recommendation side of this versus you. I think you kind of go the other way.
No, I would say it's a not recommend for me for the sort of the tone that doesn't quite make sense. And I don't mind try to make a movie more adult in themes for children. Kids are smart. I saw the movie. I'd recommend a movie that I've loved since I was a kid, appreciate more as an adult, which is Watership Down. That film is phenomenal about rabbits on the run from man and both other warrens of evil rabbits. That film is fantastic. Great voice acting as well from the cast, and takes itself seriously. This couldn't get the tone right one way or the other. It was like, so are you fart joke, glue jokes about horses, goofy? Certainly it feels goofy from the cast. I don't think they needed this cast. And I would implore other companies that are doing animated features like this, hire actors, voice actors. Let's bring voice actors back. And we don't need celebrity actors. Seth Rogen is not a draw for this. So I can't recommend it. But Alan, a bear recommend.
I think, like I said, if I'm interested in stories that make me think, and I think this one at least pulls out the Orwell concepts.
Before we go to comments, I have a related story here. Angel Studios defends Animal Farm, and they released a video. The film is getting mixed to negative reviews, which of course you saw here in our review was also mixed. Let me play this video for you where they kind of address it. Let's take a look at this. It's a couple minutes.
Oh, Animal Farm. No one wants us to be together.
They haven't even seen me. They're judging a movie by its trailer, which is what trailers are for. But still.
At Chloe Rice 8272 said, Seth Rogen is probably the last person to come to mind to voice a character who's literally meant to resemble Stalin.
Resemble Stalin as a pig?
Seth Rogen is a perfect pig, Stalin.
People are saying I should have been rated R, full of blood, darkness, and despair. At Huff UITV said, making Animal Farm kid-friendly is dystopian.
It's a story about talking farm animals. It's read by kids in middle school.
George Orwell made it that way. It's not like we're doing Schindler's List with farm animals. It's Animal Farm.
And then at Dustin Maddox 9445 said, it is wild that Angel Studios would put out a pro-communism movie that was adapted from an anti-communism book.
But I hate communism.
Me too. And at Generically Entertaining said, they don't even need that windmill anymore. Just hook up a generator to George Orwell's grave and he'd power the whole farm. Because he's rolling over.
I get it. It's really funny.
It's not true.
But it is really funny.
It's really funny.
So Angel fans hate me?
No, most don't. You passed the guild. It's a loud minority trying to silence us.
Like the pigs. I just wanted families, including kids, to understand why communism is bad. Is that so wrong?
They'll never let us be together.
Because of Seth Rogen.
Because of Seth Rogen. So I guess we just won't release you to the world.
I'll disappear like Boxer.
I love you, Animal Farm.
I love you, Angel. Goodbye.
Okay.
Animal Farm. I don't care what at Dustin Maddox 9445 says.
Me neither. We can't let the pigs win.
Never.
All right, we get it. You know what? That was clever.
Yeah, you gotta love a self-aware
studio. They were just making light of the mixed reviews. So I think that's fine. I love that they did it.
I wish
What do
the
you
other
think?
studios would do that. I wish
Yes!
Lucasfilm would have done that with Star Wars.
Well, I don't think it would be. That would be challenging, to say the least.
But the thing is, if these studios would own up to their mistakes, we would respect them more and be more likely to watch their next movie.
Let's go to your comments about this.
Yeah. A Lord Comfort 2. Animal Farm, or as I call it, Food Fight.
Good one.
Andrew Cram for 10. Is Animal Farm for kids?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
The problem is the mixed tone. They kind of made it for kids with kind of fart jokes and goofy, over the top, cute animal humor, but it's dark. So does it work? Kind of. I think I maybe kids north of double-digit age, age 11 or 12.
Jean Hu, I gifted 5 Film Dirt memberships.
Thank you, Sean Hu, and thank the people who just became.
Although in China, I think they should show that movie to Chinese kids.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, Jason Nelson for 2. What's the story behind the tipsy at 2 on Thursday?
There is a story. One of us was tipsy. We will tell you.
One of us had 6 drinks.
We were sampling drinks at the new Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone screen.
And let's remind everyone, Hogwarts has 4 houses.
Yes, they had 4 houses. There were 2 additional houses added. I was sampling these really watered down cocktails, but it did make me tipsy.
I had butterbeer.
And then we stopped by Drinker's Show, and it did not go well, as you heard. So thank you. Thank you for that, Jason. Appreciate you.
Billis Preston Esquire, the reviews have mentioned Napoleon taking the farm animals to a shopping mall and urging them to buy. This seems to be more anti-capitalism. No, No, in fact, if you watch politics these days, what these socialists do is they get elected to office, and then they take the city's credit card and go to the mall and start buying things on the city's credit card.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
what's happening here. They run out of money, so they need the other workers to work harder so that they can pay off the mortgages and the loans on the stuff they buy.
Or if you know anything about LA politics, they just give their friends some, charity to run, and then they pay their friend $500,000 or $1 million or $2 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no, the shopping spree was very intentional. J-Lob, are you two not going to mention that Circus changed the theme of Animal Farm from anti-communist to anti-cap? No, he just explained this.
Yeah, except that he didn't do that.
Yeah.
And this is coming from two people who saw the movie. So the reason you keep hearing this is from people who haven't seen the movie.
Yeah,
You
they
should
just
see
see
the
the
movie.
shopping spree and think it's capitalism.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that that's what political elites do, is they take the money that they collect from the workers and spend it on themselves in luxury and lavish lifestyles.
And I think there is a concerted effort to smear this film. I mean, we didn't give it a glowing review. I'm not recommending it. Alan gives it a bare recommend. So we're not I think our mixed review is for a different reason than the themes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a concerted effort to yet again shoot down an Angel Studio film. And they're merely the distributor of the movie.
Yeah. Look,
So-
the reason I want you to see this is because it shows you what progressivism and socialism can lead to, as if it
Yes.
might be happening in front of your eyes today in the news. Yeah, like if you are an elite, political elite, and you don't do what the party tells you, and then they release videos about you, and then people start coming out about you and telling stories of the things you've done, and then get you kicked out of the party. I mean, could that even happen today? I don't know. 311 SC. Orwell wasn't a big fan of capitalism. No, he was a Democrat socialist. 100%. But he absolutely knew the dangers of collectivism and communism, which was Animal Farm.
Yep. How about let me review a movie you haven't, Alan?
Okay.
I saw Deep Water, which is Rennie Harlin's new film. This year, he earlier in the year came out with a movie called The Strangers, Chapter 3. I did not love this film, but Deep Water is a return to form for Rennie Harlin. It's an action movie that is I would describe as a mashup. It's an airplane disaster movie with sharks. Let me repeat. It's a Jaws film meets airport movie. Yes. With I wouldn't say necessarily an all-star cast. Ben Kingsley is in the film, not for very long. Aaron Eckhart.
What does that mean?
He's more of a cameo.
Okay.
Aaron Eckhart and Ben Kingsley are in the film. They're the most known. Almost no one else I recognized, but it's a very simple story. It's a survival disaster movie. And the first half is surviving a plane crash over water. The literally plane rips apart with passengers and parts of the plane trying to survive in the deep water, do whatever they can. Most of the passengers are wiped out. There are just a small number of them left, just trying to survive on lifeboats while they're also being harassed by sharks. And they're not great whites. These sharks, he specifically used these, I think it's mako sharks. Is that what they're called? I might have gotten that wrong, but they're different types of sharks. And Aaron Eckhart is the action hero in this. And you've got all sorts of, like in the classic disaster movies, like Poseidon Adventure, among others, you meet a cast of like couples. You've got two kids, brother and sister. You've got, the bold pilot, Aaron Eckhart. You've got sort of the a-hole passenger played by Angus Sampson. And you've got the stewardess, like played by Kelly Gale. You've got like an Asian couple. It is really interesting. The Asian couple, they're subtitled in the movie. They're having some maybe relationship issues. And I'm told that in order to get this movie released in China, like the couple could not kiss. And let's say if an Asian man dies in a movie, he must do it in an act of self-sacrifice. So that's all I'm saying is.
Do you know what the characters' names were? It was Sue and She.
Yeah, Sue and She. That's who they are. But look, I went into this, and I think the audience went into this knowing what this film is. This is your dumb action movie where you've got over the top people that are like, oh my God, well, they can't kill this person. They're too good and kind. And I'll just say this. All bets are off when you see this film. When it gets to the part where we see who has survived the plane crash and then who is going to survive man-eating sharks, you just got to go, well, I don't know who's going to live and who's going to die. And then make it very clear from the beginning that, don't get too attached to these characters. It's a film that knows what it is. And I mean, having this genre is also, we haven't seen like a airplane disaster movie in years.
Not since the 70s.
Yeah. I mean, it's an age old genre. Shark films have been very popular. They've come and gone in various forms. We even one year at gave awards out to there were so many shark movies. There are bad ones. This is one of those good, bad, you're going to have fun films. You're going to get attached to characters that don't make it and some that do. And that's half the fun, is betting on, well, they can't, that person is not going to make it. Don't bet on it. So it kept me guessing to the end, had a lot of fun. The shark stuff is really, it's one movie, then it's another. It's like a combo. It's the Reese's peanut butter cups of disaster movies, combining two things you love into one. And I think this is Rennie Harlan more in his wheelhouse, big spectacle and action. And so I quite enjoyed it.
And outlandish plot, basically.
Not a great movie, a fun movie, and I recommend it.
All right, let me give you a trivia question. What airport movie featured the plane going into the ocean?
Oh, I don't know. Tell me, Alan.
It was Airport 77. Can you tell me who starred in it?
Well, George Kennedy was in all of them.
Yes. Okay. George Kennedy is in it, but who is the main leads?
Oh, I'm not. I don't remember.
Okay. Jack Lemmon, Jimmy Stewart, Joseph Cotton, Olivia de Havilland, and Brenda Vaccaro, and Christopher Lee is in it as well.
That's how old this genre is. But look, you look at the poster, let's see that poster again. See the poster again.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what you're going to get. It's one half, you have the plane disaster. The bottom is the what else is there to do? This is your movie. Let's go to
Taylor
comment.
Swift sings the final song.
Let's go.
Was there a final song?
I don't remember what it was.
Okay. Small chap, member for 60 months. I loved your birthday message to Drinker.
I think I said something like, you're the most influential critic ever, and no one gives a shit in Hollywood what you say because movies still suck.
Yep.
So
I remember.
Is that what I said? Something like that.
Yeah, that was what you intended to say. 311 essay for 5. If you want to judge people for day drinking, then you might as well judge me because I'm buzzed all the time while working at Chili's.
Well, you just go to the tap. It's on tap. Thanks, 311 essay. Appreciate that. Why not?
Lord Khan for 2. BioShock called. They want their plot back. Oh, is that Deepwater?
It's not really. I love the first BioShock. I played to the end. I finished it. The second one wasn't exactly excited about, but yeah.
Daniel Lion Arts for $4.99. Resident Evil movies don't faithfully follow the games due to Capcom's contract. Paul WSA, Paul W. Anderson. Okay. Banning specific characters and exact settings for IP protection.
Oh, that's why it's going to suck. Thank
Why
you,
would they do
Daniel
that?
Lyon. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Flying Blindona rocket cycle for 2. Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday to you.
Oh,
I love
blind
your-
on a rocket cycle. Got it.
Flying blind on a rocket cycle.
Yeah, flying blind on a rocket cycle for 5.
Yes.
How about Baby Shark movies? They're coming. Raiders Lost Ark, Baby Shark. Baby Shark with a Vengeance. They write themselves.
Yes, it's perfect. And Kenneth Marchand asks, it's more action than horror? It's a combo of both. I would say it's
More
a combo of
disaster.
both.
More
Yeah.
disaster film than anything.
Yeah, more disaster, elements of horror. Hey, Alan, let's talk about a movie that you and I both saw.
Yes.
The Devil Wears Prada 2. All right, give me the basic story. I mean, I think you and I both saw the first Devil Wears Prada. It's on, you can find it on Disney Plus or HBO Max. It's around. So check it out. I caught up with it. And what was weird about watching this movie that was 20 years old, made in 2006, the first film, we have Anne Hathaway as Andy. And it was of its time. It was really like a whimsical, light, romantic comedy that really was like of a different era, I would say. So what do we make of, and then the thing that really made this movie was the character of the character that is
the Fab Four,
the reference devil, Miranda Priestley, played by Meryl Streep. Emily Blunt is, of course, one of the Emilys, Emily Charlton, and Nigel, played by Stanley Tucci. All are back in the sequel. The first movie was fine. It was a light. I remember in liking it. It's like, oh, okay. I don't feel like I completely wasted my time. Andy's a writer with higher ideals who's working at a fashion magazine. She feels it's kind of beneath her. She doesn't understand how important fashion is, how it influences art and the choices of everyone, why they choose to wear what they wear and what it means in the world. And Miranda Priestley schools Andy in the first film. And all 4 of those key characters, Emily, Miranda Priestley, Andy, and Nigel, are back for part 2. Where are they now in part 2?
Well, of course they're in New York City. But what's happening is Runway Magazine is not the magazine it used to be. It is now budget has been cut drastically, and it's an online magazine, much like Film Threat. So the movie opens with Runaway Magazine in crisis. There was a story they ran that had themes of child slave labor in it, and as a result, the internet blows up. Runway has just made the biggest mistake of its life, and things need to be taken care of right now, or Runway is going away. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Andy left Runway 20 years ago and became the journalist that she wanted to be. But the problem is that here in the movie, she's at an award ceremony, about to win the award for a series of articles she's published, but her publication just got bought and sold and no longer exists. And now she's out of a job, which is the commentary of journalism today. So the guy, the CEO who owns the parent company of Runway Magazine, says something needs to be done, or Miranda, you're gone. And he decides that he's going to hire Andy, who just got laid off, make her the features editor. And we're back. Miranda doesn't remember who Andy is. And so we've now reestablished this relationship between Miranda and Andy is kind of sent in to save the company. So she writes an apology article. She's, kind of gets in front of the problem, explains it away. Yeah, good solution, but no one reads the article. In fact, no one reads any articles Andy writes, and that's again where this conflict comes in. Nigel still knows who she is, and then also in a twist of fate, because of everything that Runway is going through, they need to do an apology tour to all the sponsors of the magazine. And one sponsor, Christian Dior, is run by Emily. And so Andy and Miranda must go and kiss Emily's butt in order to keep the advertiser from Christian Dior. And what's interesting is everything I described to you happens and wraps up in the first act of the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well,
the second
there's
act is about
a new conflict. A whole new conflict occurs with a takeover of the magazine that puts Miranda in an awkward position, and forces are trying to take her down and push her toward maybe an early retirement or out of the industry. It felt like a season, like, because what you described is accurate.
It's like Sex in the City.
It felt more Sex in the City than Devil Wears Prada. And it's so convoluted. It was like we got an entire season of a TV show in 2 hours, and it didn't really. I just don't think this is a sequel that needed to be made. You know, it's 20 years later. Andy is still a plucky, idealistic journalist. She mentioned she's frozen her eggs because she may one day want to have kids. But what? She's in her 40s now. It's just, I mean, look, obviously, I'm not the one that really wanted to see this movie. I saw it with someone who wanted to really see it, and it wasn't Alan. Okay. Yes, my girlfriend wanted to go see this movie, and she wanted the popcorn bucket, which was sold out, by the way, sold out. Did not get the popcorn bucket. But look, if you're a fan of the first one, and the first one I wasn't necessarily a fan of, I remember liking it. It was like, oh, that's a good, of its era, romantic, kind of romantic comedy in that genre, but also about a young girl trying to make it on her own and trying to make a name for herself and struggling with her ideals. And at this early age, like fresh out of college. Anne Hathaway's character, Andy, is fresh out of college in the first film. And I just felt this didn't need to get made. And the thing that is the worst part about this movie is Miranda, Meryl Streep's character. They soften her.
Yeah.
What was great about that first movie was she never budges an inch. You never see her flinch. You never see her like give any sort of feeling or emotion. She is, she is the devil. She expects a certain standard and you better meet it or you're gone, like the last Emily. And in this, they attempt to humanize her, and that really breaks the character for me. And they didn't need to do that. So if you're a fan of the first one, you're going to see this anyways, and it's fine, but it's ultimately a disappointment. Didn't need to get made. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I liked it better than you.
Okay.
But you're right in the sense that it's like Sex in the City, and in that there are chapters in the story. There's an overarching, we need to save Runway magazine, but there are chapters in which things happen to characters. And then your criticism about Miranda, look, that's what we call character arcs in the business. She can't be the same person all the time, especially in a world, back 20 years ago, Runway had this massive budget, it was the best fashion magazine in the world. And now it's online and they have to get content. They have to constantly be producing content. And so the luster has fallen, and that emboldens the relationship between Andy and Miranda. While at the same time, this movie is not for me. The only reason I saw it was because it's my job to see these movies. I think the best thing I could say, I can't speak for someone who loved the first movie and seeing this one, but I can speak for someone who is not the audience but had to sit through this. And I'll say, I had a good time. I wasn't bored, and I was able to keep up. And so, you could do worse.
Yes, that's the saving grace. I wasn't bored. That's why it felt like it felt very episodic. This problem solved. This problem solved. a new problem. We'll deal with that in the third act. So it felt like one of those videos where you're like, it's like a summary video of a last season of a TV show. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Now let me say this about the movie.
Yeah.
It's not, despite the stories that have come out about this movie from various actors in the movie, this movie's not woke. In fact, it plays around with the idea of the old generation and the new generation. Yes. And it doesn't take a side necessarily. Obviously, there is a side taken, but the old-fashioned thinking of Miranda versus the more progressive thinking of Andy, it's not a major conflict, but it comes into battle. I do love the parts where HR constantly has to follow Miranda around to correct her in the things she says, and she does not tolerate them at all, and just continues on. There's something with BJ Novak that happens that was probably the dumbest thing, but it's the whole idea of, hey guys, hey people, But
I love the thing how they kind of repeat things from the first movie. Like Miranda would come in, throw her purse and her coat on the desk. They mentioned they had HR complaints. Yeah. The movie's not really, it's
like the whole body positivity thing is more of a discussion in the movie than what happens in the movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty much models throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, it is models.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Alan, I don't recommend it. You give it a bear recommend?
I would give it a recommend, not a bear recommend.
Okay. Well, I would say if you're a fan of the first movie, you're going to see it anyways. So you don't care what I think, but I don't recommend it.
It hits all at least, like I said, I saw it the night before the first one, hits all the points, gets all the characters right. And I think it will be a big hit this weekend.
That I don't doubt. In spite of what I think, this movie will be a financial success. Let's go to your comments. And then we have a very special interview we're going to be doing. Owen is on time and we're behind. It's what can we do? All right, we got to go a few comments here before we start. Here we go. Jason has been very, very patient.
Yes, Jason Nelson for 2. Would you say that The Devil Wears Prada 2 is the worst of modern Hollywood? No,
it's not. It's not at all. What's so funny is I just wish Miranda had been like Meryl Streep's character, just been more consistent.
Yeah. And let's just say that we see so many movies, we know what the worst of Hollywood is.
Yes, because we see it.
Yeah. Royce and Bailey for 2. I'd enjoy more watching The Damsel Wears Nada.
Well, that's Axel Braun version. Thank you.
Tim's not funny. The Devil Wears Prada 2 feels like a facsimile to the original. It tries to update the world, but feels forced and stiffed it by comparison. Has its charm, but can't capture magic of its predecessor. A cheap knockoff that will make $500 million.
Yes, you're not wrong, Tim.
Brock Samsonite. It's a cash grab aimed at the Barbie demographic. Yes, that's what Disney does.
Isn't every movie a cash grab? You're trying to make some money. But yes, it's definitely targeting that Barbie audience. I believe it will be a huge hit, in spite of what critics say. Yeah. Hey, we have more films to review, including Balls Up, Over Your Dead Body, and Hokum, which Alan didn't see. That's all right. But hey, we have the filmmaker behind a movie called Late Bloomer, a very creative indie film. Owen Squire Smith is here. I don't know anything about the making of this movie, so I really want to talk to him about his film. Let's bring him on the show. Hey, Owen, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good to see you. Let me put you front and center because you are prepared. Look at this.
I am prepared.
No, look at that. Where are you? Is that your house?
No, it's not my house. I'm at an office studio.
Okay.
Nobody works here on Fridays, so I was like, I'm going to use the space. So.
That's perfect. Look at that. Wait, let me set you front and center here. There we go. Much better. And you're prepared here with your poster in the background.
Yeah.
All right. You got to be prepared. Well, hey, I want to share the trailer to your movie with our audience. But
Please.
before we do that, tell us what got you to this, because the movie really juggles lots of disparate themes. The lead character is a dancer, but is also an animator, aspiring animator, and it's told in a kind of weird blending of the theater of the mind with the world. Tell us what inspired this movie and just what got you here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also, first of all, I want to say thank you so much. You guys are fantastic. I've been listening to you guys for years. Just what you guys have done with this community, just thank you so much. I hope you know how much people appreciate you guys.
Oh, thanks. I do. Let me just say something about your film. Your film I related to because I too have had dreams of being an old, tall, lanky guy who wants to learn to tap dance.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so I'm a working actor right now, and just with I just closed at the Purple Rose Theater. And Chris, you're from Detroit, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Purple Rose is in Chelsea. And I've just had this idea for a couple years. Just given my size, I haven't been cast in certain dance things, and I was like, and I'm from a dancing family and stuff, and so there was also things that happened to me as a child, which was kind of like probably the psychological stuff that happened in the film with like delayed recall. And so I just thought it would be interesting of, okay, what if I took like dream ballet dancing and then applied it to some stuff that happened to me as a kid. And I wanted to tell a story of healing. But I wanted like coming of age, but too late. And I just thought it would be a fun thing. And I appreciate how much people have responded to it and have related to it. Yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. Well, it's like you're inspired from your own life. But let me ask, how did you get the movie made? I know this sounds like a big question, but like it's because you can have money, people have money. It doesn't mean it's really through, especially a very personal indie movie. It's by sheer force of will. That's why I kind of feel I observe when people get a movie that is very unique, like yours is.
Sorry, just to step in, it's technically a web series.
It is. It's 5 episodes. You can watch the whole thing in 45 minutes on YouTube right now, actually.
Oh, good. Okay, we'll put a link in the description to the web series here. We'll show the trailer in a moment. But what got you to birth this into existence?
I took a lot of acting jobs I did not want to take to fund it. But it is just my brother and I. My brother and I made it. During the pandemic, we would edit short documentary films. And so I would compose the music. So I would do the story edit of the story, hand it off to him, where he would do sound, color correction, and B-roll edits. And then while he's doing that, I'm composing the music. And then we would come together. So we just work really well as a team. And if you look at the credits, it's my brother and I doing everything. My brother was the DP. We edited it together. I composed the music while he was doing that. He hand drew the animation, all the animation in it. It's not AI. He hand drew all of that. Drawing was my first love as a kid. And I just, with acting, I don't get to draw as much. And I just thought it was like picking up art forms that I had from childhood that meant so much to me that I don't get to do as much anymore. And I was like, well, what if I do that in a story? And I just thought it would be so cool to have this timid, kind of awkward animator who doesn't do, it was these different worlds of struggling at work, struggling with relationships, struggling with self, all these worlds, and then telling it through dream ballet and art. So it was I've been taking a lot of jobs the past 2-3 years just to fund it. And then I hired local people in Michigan, and I hired a sound guy, and it was just my brother and I and our sound guy, Mark or Christine, on set. And that was it.
Appreciate that, Alan. We're having a technical issue with
I know.
the
What the hell
visual.
is happening?
It's okay. It's not your fault. We heard everything. It's
Okay.
great. But we're in Michigan because Michigan has a huge film community. You know, they shot Batman v Superman in Michigan.
Yeah.
And you mentioned also taking acting jobs that maybe you didn't quite want to take, but you know, first of all, you're getting acting jobs. That's huge.
It is. I'm so grateful for it. Super grateful. But yeah, I'm based in Grand Rapids, Michigan right now, and I'm just staying with family in between, but I'll just go out for gigs. Worked at the Purple Rose Theater, worked at the Barn Theater, worked at the Encore Musical Theater Company, also went to Clarence Brown Theater in Tennessee, and I teach when I'm not. So I'm teaching an on-camera acting workshop right now, or I'll do stage combat for a show, or do choreography in between. So I like Michigan. I actually think it's the most underrated state to film right now. You have such talented filmmakers. I just don't think they realize the talent they have in Michigan. And so you have all the filmmakers, but they'll hire out of New York or Chicago when there are actually fantastic local talent here. So I'm trying to bridge that gap.
Well, having, being from Michigan, I'll tell you that's absolutely true. Salt of the earth, no BS people, and I'm familiar with Grand Rapids, been there, Big Rapids, Grand Blanc, Royal Oak is where I went to high school. So yeah, Michigan is vastly underrated. It's also great. I love the weather. It can be like 1 minute. You just don't know. It's going to rain. What are you going to get?
4 seasons in one day.
I love it.
I'd ask you, you say you've done musicals. Have you played Cornelius Hackle?
I have not, but I've always liked to.
All right. That's the perfect role for you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I actually, I just did, well, I didn't just do it, but I did Bert and Mary Poppins a couple years ago. And if you guys ever pull up either my Instagram or YouTube, I did a Dick Van Dyke tribute, which he actually saw, where he's dancing on the left, I'm dancing on the right. If you go to my YouTube or my Instagram and pull it up, he actually saw it. And he gave me a call and threatened to have me killed. He's just a classic.
That is amazing.
That's actually the project I'm working on right now, is a one-man show of that. And it's called Dick Van Dyke Wants Me Dead.
Hey, let's take a look at your trailer and we'll take some questions from our audience watching this live. Here we go.
Wow.
And it's currently on YouTube for anyone to watch.
Anyone can watch it. Yeah. Yeah. 5 episodes.
And it got, Alan, you reviewed it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, it's, there's that time where you grow up and you fulfill everyone's expectations as a person, and then you just have to do your thing. And that's kind of how I related to your movie.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm getting Billy Elliot vibes.
Yeah, it's actually, when I pitched it, it's Good Will Hunting meets Billy Elliot. And then of course a little bit of American in Paris with Tim Burton animation. But episode 4 is my favorite. The entire episode's a dream ballet with hand-drawn animation, beautiful choreography, and it's which I was able to get licensed the rights to Tchaikovsky, so it's my favorite, and I hope people can see it.
Let's go to questions from our audience.
All right. Tim is not funny. I love the concept of late bloomer in general. Great underdog archetype.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, ADLS. What was behind your decision to release Late Bloomers on YouTube? Did you try shopping it on any streaming platforms, or was this the plan from the start for allowing for maximum exposure?
Yeah, I did think about it with other streaming, but since it is such a personal story for me with healing, I didn't want it to be a paywall for those individuals. And the licensing right that I got for Tchaikovsky for episode 4, I got it for YouTube. So I always had YouTube in mind for it to see if this would kind of lead up to other things. But yeah, I wanted more exposure for people to see it. Easy access.
ADLS, you wear various creative hats in the project, from creator, writer to actor and dancing. In which aspect did you see your skill grow the most, and what was the most challenging role for you to tackle?
Oh, fantastic question. Episode 2, there's a therapy scene. I probably would have liked to have hired a director for that, because there's no cuts. It's like a 6-minute monologue. But I liked how it turned out. I think just producing of getting everybody's schedules lined up, and during the tap dance number, I had food poisoning, which I was shooting a film in Petoskey, and I was driving back, and I had gotten food poisoning on set, and here we were doing the tap dance number. We can only do 4 takes because I was so sick. But also just reserving space to do the gymnastics. There were some gymnastics moves I didn't know, and I was training to learn those moves. And then the gymnastics place that we had booked, they decided last minute, like, the owner's not interested in your project. And I was like, well, I'm not asking them to be interested. I've reserved and paid for the space, but they didn't want anything to do with it. And that I was like, oh man, I had so many no's, which was because I was like, hey, this is independent, I'm paying for it, I'm self-funding this, but they weren't interested. So just willing to roll with the punches was the hardest part. And then trying to train with the workouts when I had to deal with everyone else's schedules. It was always like my acting or my workouts were always pushed to the end. So it would have been nice to have a studio to fund it so that I could work out and not worry about everyone else's stuff.
More comments and questions.
All right. Have Gun will travel. Shout out to this man for making his movie. That's no easy task.
Oh, thank you very much. I guess it's still a web series, but yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people start and never finish, and you finish. ADLS 24, you use a black and white cinematic palette in episode 4 with distinct pops of color. Why did you make that artistic choice for that particular episode, and what inspired such a decision?
Yeah, so the black and white, it's a nod to, so there's probably like 30 to 50 old movie references in this, whether it's Gene Kelly stuff or Gene Nelson in like the 1954 movie where he does dance, tap, and gymnastics. Like I have all these old movie references. Shall We Dance, the Japanese film. I love black and white filmmaking, and I wanted to distinguish that with the Dream Ballet, and I thought red, given the themes, the struggles that he goes through or he went through in the past, it's not on the nose, but you find out that he was hurt very much as a child. And I thought the black and white not only emphasized the dream sequence, it also brought honor to past films of that era with Dream Ballet, and the colors popping I thought was beautiful. There's also a spoiler with why I'm in blue, or my character's in blue, and I can't give that away, but if you watch it till the end, you'll understand.
I found a playlist on YouTube, which we will share with our audience. So you can watch all 4 episodes.
Oh, there's actually 5 episodes.
Yeah, 5 episodes. Yeah, got it right here. The epilogue episode. So here. I found it for you. The link is in the description. Check it out. Just want to let you guys know.
Thank you
we got
so much.
a few more questions here.
Fun with collecting. Hollywood has hurt projects like this with so much slop in the last decade. This sounds genuine.
Yeah. There. I will say there's a lot of heart to it, and it's funny too. It is funny. It deals with really heavy stuff, but it's funny, and there's heart. I can guarantee you there is heart to it.
Cool. And then we have a final question here from Tim.
Tim is not funny. Love a good brother team. How did you guys settle your disagreements when they happen?
Yeah.
I think we've worked as editors or composers for other people that didn't have plans or didn't know what they wanted. So actually working with my brother, he was so relieved that I knew exactly what I wanted, because I spend, before I do a film project, I storyboard everything. I know exactly what I want. I do a lot of in-depth stuff by myself just so I have a plan, so that everyone else is taken care of. So
excellent.
And the question we always get, when can I see it? How can I see it? Link is in the description. Look up Late Bloomer and Owen Squire Smith to find it, but the link is here to watch all 5 episodes of the series. And Owen, please come back when you have another project. And I might recommend, not to give you too much advice here, but you could do a feature version. And I know some distributors that would 100% be interested, including talk to Linda Nelson at a company called Indie Rights.
Oh, thank you. I'll write that down.
So go to indierights.com, INDIE rights.com. Their distribution contract is on the site. You can tell her I sent you. You can fill out a form. If you cut together a feature version, Late Bloomer could be on, say, Tubi or all those other platforms. So just another pathway for it to make money.
Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate that.
I know that filmmakers get like, well, I just want to get it out there, get people. You need to get money. You need to get money to
make pay for the next thing.
Yes, exactly. So indierights.com, her company, you look at the kinds of movies they release, and I mean, they release a lot of movies all over the map, documentaries, features, in different various genres.
All genres, yeah.
All genres, but particularly drama. She would, and tell her I recommend it.
Thank you.
Or I'll tell her myself.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, there's a way to, and there's no reason, like, look, yes, it starts as a lot of things start as web series that become movies. So, and we've seen so many YouTubers recently have films that have, gotten into theaters, Markiplier, Chris Stuckman, among others. So I really think YouTube is where new creative voices are finding a place to experiment, try things, and then build an audience like you are doing right now.
Oh, thank you so much, Chris. Also, Chris, I don't know if you remember, but you came to Grand Rapids for Comic-Con. And
I did.
Yes, and we talked after. You were so kind to me. I was walking with you and talking, and I said, "Oh, I have this idea for a project I've had for a couple of years now. I'm just trying to fund it." And you were like, "Well, send it to Film Threat and stuff." So, and this is that project. So, I just wanted to say thank you, and Alan, thank you for doing the review. You guys are fantastic.
Oh well, thank you. But I do remember that. Like, I had a couple panels, and it was great. Also, like, when I give advice to anyone, it's no BS. It's like, this is what just, my general thing is just say, just make it. Like, even if you don't have money, just make it. But yeah, no, that was, what a great town. I got I hung out with my sister, Epic Mike, and then all the people, they gave me a booth. And then the next year they brought back Drinker. Drinker was there.
Fantastic.
Well, clearly you talked to Chris before the after party. And got good advice.
Well, I did go out into the town with Epic Mike.
I know you did.
And Josiah Rises took my sister and I out for dinner, and we had a blast just bar hopping in Grand Rapids. It's a great town. Yeah, well, hit me up if I'm back. We'll hang out.
Would love to. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Owen, congrats on your success. I look forward to seeing what you're doing next. And people from Michigan, a lot of them do very well in entertainment because they're no BS. We call it the Michigan Mafia. I'm
Keeping it real.
Yeah, exactly. Take care. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wow, what a great kid. He's gonna go off and make movies and then never talk to us.
Yeah. We're the people you talk to on the way up.
Yeah, this
and on the way down.
This happens all the time. There'll be the filmmakers who we talk to early on, like say a Chris Nolan, Tarantino.
Yeah.
Maybe you've heard of them. Among others, we talk to as they are on the rise, and then they don't talk to us, and that's probably going to happen with Owen, but that's okay. I don't mind. That's the reason we exist, is to give filmmakers that are trying to, struggling to make a name for themselves. It's, this is where you start.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you watch the Kevin Smith interview, you'll know that he didn't forget.
Yeah, he's one of the few that Kevin Smith, whatever you think about Kevin Smith never forgot. He still talks to us. One of the few. So, hey, we've got 3 more films to review. Bonus films here. So let's get to them. One that I saw, one that you saw, and one we both saw.
Yes.
What should we start with, Alan? Dealer's choice.
We should start with Over Your Dead Body.
Alan and I both saw a movie called Over Your Dead Body. It stars Jason Segel and an actress you really need to know about, Samara Weaving. She's phenomenal.
She's been in a lot of stuff. Let's put it
in a lot of stuff recently. And it's the story of a frustrated film director. He's married to an actress. He's struggling to make a name for himself. He made an indie movie years ago that wasn't a huge hit. He's now doing commercial work. And he's kind of fed up with his wife. And he's going to take her on a little getaway vacation to this cabin that his father owns. And they're going to have a romantic getaway, or so she thinks, because Jason Segel's character, Dan, is planning to kill his wife. Unbeknownst to him, his wife, Lisa, is planning to kill him. Kind of a weird set of circumstances. So he brings up all this equipment. He's got it all planned out. He's got a friend who's actually going to help him dispose of the body and provide an alibi. He's being very loud about his alibi. I don't know why she wants to go hiking by herself in the mountains. I told her it was dangerous. He's telling as many people as he can this thing that is being very obvious. He's kind of a terrible actor. And along the way, things go awry when they spring the plan, and each of them reveals they plan to kill each other. And the problems that led to wanting to kill the other one all come to light. Basically, they haven't dealt with their problems. Now, there's something that happens in about just after, like maybe close to the middle of the movie, that is complete shock. When Timothy Oliphant, Juliette Lewis, and Keith Jardin play Pete, Allegra, and Todd, they're on the run. They
escape prison.
They escape prison, and Juliette Lewis plays Allegra, who's like a prison guard that fell in love with Timothy Oliphant's character, Pete. They're madly in love. Like, they just want to constantly have sex, and they're hiding in the attic, unbeknownst to Lisa and Dan, and reveal themselves. And things go south from there in a movie that, I mean, yes, it's a comedy. And I really, the comedy aspects, if they had really stuck to that, it gets very, without getting specific, very gory and bloody and gruesome and stuff that like really had me just turning the other way or shielding my eyes from how awfully bloody and gory it is. You know, I normally I would say with a movie like this, like I like a film that kind of swings for the fences. And there is a moment in the movie when this is in the trailer where Lisa and Dan are kind of going over like their alibis, and she's an actress and she's giving a performance of like how she's going to tell other people that Dan died accidentally. And it's very funny. It's that balance of this like black humor with the gore that didn't quite work. I still would give it a bare recommend, but Alan, what did you think?
Yeah, you know, I was liking this film through the first hour, and then that third act comes in, and this is me watching the movie in the third act. Like it was gruesome, it was gory, a lot of body dismemberment, and you know, Timothy Oliphant. Something. Okay, I should say things get gross and disgusting to the point that I could not physically watch this movie anymore. And so I'm on my phone playing games, just listening to what's happening, so I don't have to watch what's happening.
Yeah.
Look, the reason I mentioned that is because I was having a good time up until that point. And I feel like I would have continued to have a good time had those things not happened, which means what I'm saying is that, yeah, if your movie didn't need to go there because you're doing a good job so far.
That's what I thought that the writing and was clever enough.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be gore.
So, like it's I believe it's written by Jorma Taccone, who's Lonely Island, and he did Pop Stars, Never Stop, Never Stopping. I love that movie. And you know, the guy's talented. He knows what he's doing. It's just, man, you know, sometimes you do this stuff to be gory to get people to plus up a mediocre movie. And in this case, you didn't need to do that. You could have just finished your story. And so personally, I cannot recommend this movie. But I'm sure there's an audience for it. Yeah. I'm tired of the ultra violence of movies nowadays, and this it got there and it pissed me off because I was enjoying myself up until this point.
Yeah, I will say I just think it didn't need to be as gory as it was. It was clever enough script. It was funny enough situation that it could have just, you know, it could have had more confidence in that script. And they didn't, and they felt they needed to go over the top with the gore and blood, and it was unnecessary. I'll point out the movie was shot in Finland. It had mostly a Finnish crew.
Did someone in your life like it?
Someone in my life was mixed on the movie, but was very excited that it was shot in Finland, and had, like, if you look at all the crew members, unpronounceable names, but Finnish nonetheless. So I give it a bare recommend. If you could look past the gore, but I guess Alan, you don't recommend it.
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, the gimmick turned me off for what was otherwise a good movie.
Let's go to comments.
Yeah, Tim is not funny. Over Your Dead Body is darkly funny joyride. It explores grounded and relatable personal relationship conflicts in an over-the-top, ultra-violent fashion, absurd, foul, and hilarious. So you saw it. You saw the potential of this film.
Yeah. I think it just needed to maybe tone down the gore.
Yeah. Jay Lass, that's disappointing. The premise sounds clever, but I'm not into the gore fest. I mean,
and if you are, you're going to love it.
Yeah. If you like that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, a couple more films to review. How about, Alan? Tell me about Balls Up.
Yes, Balls Up is currently on Amazon. Stars Mark Wahlberg and our guest on Wednesday, Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, Paul Walter Hauser will be on Film Threat for our Wednesday show, Hollywood on the Rocks. He's been very outspoken recently, and he's going to join us live to talk to you.
Yeah. And it's directed by Peter Farrelly, who brought us the Oscar award-winning Green Book. I mean,
among other movies.
Yeah. So what's happening here is Mark Wahlberg and Paul Walter Hauser play Brad and Elijah. They are marketing executives for a condom company, and they are looking to get sponsorship for the World Cup, to be the official condom sponsor of the World Cup. And Paul Walter Hauser's character Elijah develops this condom that stretches over the balls so that your entire package is protected. And everyone thinks it's a great idea. And they go to the World Cup people, the marketing director played by Benjamin Bratt, and he thinks it's a fantastic idea. But the problem is that Benjamin Bratt's character has been sober for almost 10 years, maybe a couple days before it. And in the toast, something happens and Benjamin Bratt winds up falling off the wagon and just destroying his life. And not only destroying his life, but destroying any chances of this great new product. I believe it's called the Condom Citadel or something like that. And so needless to say, the two get fired. They lose their jobs, but by a weird twist of fate, the company forgot to cancel the plane flight and World Cup tickets. And so both of them decide that they're going to fly to Brazil and go to the World Cup. They're having fun. Final game, it's Brazil and Argentina. Argentina's winning. Brazil's about to go nuts because that's where they're in Brazil. And there's this hot dog mascot. And Elijah thinks that the hot dog mascot is mocking him for his product and the fact that he's a loser and can't even get a sponsorship for his condom company. And he drinks and drinks to the point where he runs on the field to beat up the hot dog. And in doing so, as Brad is chasing him, Brad runs in front of the goal and blocks Brazil's chance of winning the World Cup. And now the two are the mortal enemy of this country. Literally everyone in the country wants them dead. And the whole movie is them surviving. Look, you said that, I think you said that you only saw the first half hour. The first half hour is this whole setup I just described to you. Yeah. It's the following hour that makes this movie. It's the crazy adventure they go on. They meet up with the mafia. They meet up with some environmentalists out in the backwoods. It's basically people who, some people like them, some people don't, but most people hate them, and most people want them dead. And like I said, the film is just this over the top adventure to get out. I'll say two things about it. The first is it's a shame this is on Amazon because I don't know that I maybe laughed out loud once, but then again, I'm watching this at home. I'm distracted. It's on my big TV. I feel like if I was in the movie theater, I would be busting up over this movie. And so it's when you think Farrelly Brothers and when you think a movie like this, it is that shared experience, and you're just not going to get it watching it at home. Because there's some really crazy stuff going on. There's that fish that swims up your urine stream.
Yes,
yeah. That's a whole big part here. And then, so, I mean, I think that's the biggest point is it's really hard for me to judge this movie as to whether it's funny or not with, at home by myself. And so I'll give it a bare recommendation because there are good parts and it does get really interesting. It doesn't feel like a Farrelly Brothers movie in the first half, but it definitely does in the second half. Because that's when the wheels fall off the truck. So man, this is just a testament to the problem with streaming.
Well, this is the thing. It's put out by Amazon, which is now being committed to. They have Project Hail Mary, which they did a big release, is still not on digital, still in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. This is a raunchy comedy that should have been wide released in theaters.
It's more like the Farrelly Brothers. It's more gross and over the top than it is raunchy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but but there's certainly Look, I think Amazon knows what goes in theaters and what doesn't. There's certainly any John Cena movie on Amazon didn't need to go to theaters. This is one that
Yeah.
needed to go. This was one that needed to go to theaters.
I just think this would be fun with a crowd. I mean, like
Mhm.
I said, I got a half hour in. I'm like, all right, I'm enjoying this. I'll finish it at some point.
Yeah.
But it's like watching it at home. You're right. You need that. You got to be surrounded by 100 other people laughing and having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, and then you mentioned it just right now. It's that first half that just kind of sets the stage, but it sets it way too long. And it doesn't kick into gear until after that, which is a long time for people to sit through at home trying to get through a movie.
Let's go to comments. Oh, we got a lot.
Yes. Oh, wow. Lord Comfort too. I have enough gore in my life. His name is Chris.
Thanks.
Oh,
Good comment.
Trish Trish
Hey.
Page gifted one film theater membership.
Oh, thank you, Trish. That's very generous. Appreciate you.
How about not a retro for 10? Wanted to touch briefly on this Rose thing. Before you make up your mind, Sydney Watson has a video called Katy Perry Has Always Been a Predator. Please check it out.
Okay. I follow Sydney Watson. I follow her work. I will see it. It probably just came out.
First, that's not really the news we cover. So
Yeah.
Albert not a retro for 2. That should have been Ruby Rose. Apologies.
Oh, it's all good. Albert, appreciate you.
Uncle Jimmy Jam, Balls Up was not what I expected. I thought it was a movie about rubbers, but it was so much more. LOL. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah. But better experienced with an audience.
Yeah. It's the difference between good movie and a great movie is when you're around others. Balls Up was okay. I laughed once, I think. Me too. Lady Thoth likes Wahlberg, so we watched it. I mean, they both give really good performances. Well-defined characters, especially Paul Walter Hauser.
Well, shout out to Lady Thoth there.
Yeah. That's it.
You know what? I'm gonna save. Should I save my Hokum review for next week? Because we don't have a lot of movies next week. Should I?
Is that too late? Or
We
it's in theaters now, right?
It's in theaters now. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Hang on. Gotta set this up. Let's talk about Hokum from the director of films like Oddity. Adam Scott plays a tortured writer who goes on a getaway. He's just, his work really reflects a lot of his dark nature. He lost his mother in an accident tragically as a child. And he's gone to this kind of old inn in the middle of nowhere to get away. He just wants to go away. Ironically, his parents spent their honeymoon at this very hotel in the honeymoon suite, which is since locked up, and no one can go in the honeymoon suite for reasons that aren't made apparent. He is a complete a-hole, being cruel to the staff. He's mean to everyone. And honestly, as someone who actually really loves Adam Scott he's been in Parks and Rec and comedy. He's also done dramas. I really like the actor, and wow, it's hard to like his character in this. He is so tortured and cruel. Oddly, though, when it's revealed what happened to him as a kid, I do have sympathies for him, and it explains a lot of why he is so cruel to others in his life as he works out his demons through his work. In fact, the movie opens with a tragic scene of a conquistador in a desert. And we see this scene play out from one of his novels. And he's trying to explain the scene to someone who thinks that the scene is terrible. In any case, when a young woman disappears at the inn under strange circumstances, the hunt is on and the inn is closed. And this journalist is now trying to not only discover what happened to this young woman, he is trying to gain entry into the honeymoon suite where his parents once spent their marital weekend. So the character's name is Owen Bauman. This movie is all about tone. It's all about putting you in a situation where you're having to go down the deserted tunnel into where? I don't know. Darkness. And it really does a good job of like kind of lulling you into a sense of like something could happen at any moment. And then what is in this abandoned honeymoon suite? Could it be witches? What happened to the young woman from the inn that disappeared? Was she murdered or did something else happen? Other characters enter the fray, that including one of the managers at the inn that may have ulterior motives. This is a horror film that takes its time. It's very slow moving with intention. I don't mean that it's boring. It adds to the tone of the film. His previous film, Oddity, I didn't love that as much. I like this much better, mainly because of Adam Scott, and mainly because you have a lead character that, like, I mean, like, he has an exchange with a guy where he's a complete a-hole, like elitist, narcissistic writer. It's really hard to like this guy. So the fact that, you know, the movie is kind of a redemption arc for him in exercising his demons, literally, makes him more endearing, or at least understandable for the way he is. So if you like a horror film that is all about a dark tone, this is for you. If that's not for you and you just need constant gore and kills, this is not for you. So I'm going to give it a bare recommend with a warning that it is kind of a slow burn, but a slow burn with a good payoff. Ultimately, the end redeemed it for me. I am being very, in terms of elements of the story, I don't want to say stuff because it'll give too much away. So that's by design. I really don't want to ruin it. So there you go. A bare recommend for Hokum. It's all about the tone. And Alan, and one thing I'll point out, Alan will never see this film.
I will not see this movie.
Nor should he, because he doesn't love horror. It's the one thing that like really defines a director, if they can really like present a tone in the film.
Well, one that's interesting, one that will carry you from start to finish.
Yeah.
Seems like this one, you've got to do the work to stay with it.
You've got to do the work. Let's go to any comments here.
All right, Lord Comment for 2. If I wanted a slow burn, I would get married.
Or get venereal disease.
Yeah. Or do a one-night stand with someone you don't know. Michael Jackson is magnificent. Chris, how scary is the film? Is it terrifying or mildly scary?
It's mildly scary with moments of terror. They're good jump scares, and they're earned.
Okay. Mike MC Wong, I like that it was more of a mystery than horror.
Yes, you would say that and I do like that they put you in the mind of a writer. That worked. And we're going to leave it there. We're back on Monday with Versus. We'll have a very special episode of Versus. It's our May the 4th Be With You, celebrating corporate Star Wars Day on Monday. That's what we're doing. Yes. And all your favorites will be back.
And we need to remind each other to go to Burger King that morning.
Oh, yeah. Send me we'll get Burger King. And thanks for our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, ADL is 24, Ola Leakway on Rumble, and Atomic Glory, who never thanks herself. But I'm going to thank her. She did a bang up job today. Kicked butt. And Alan did well. I like when you're talking about a movie you care about. Like I stop and I just want to listen to you.
Yeah.
I feel like I know how the audience feels. Like when you really are like, the worst thing is a movie you either like you just don't care about. You're just like,
you know what it
it's
is? I always tell people the best reviews I write are the movies I really like or really hate. It's the ones in the middle that are the toughest to write.
Oh, those are the worst. Those are the worst. The ones that you just are like, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, so I have one message. Go see a movie this weekend. Go see a movie. I want you to go see a movie. There are enough in the theater. You can see a movie. You'll be mildly interested. So,
and if you're looking for movies, this weekend in LA is the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. And tomorrow, Saturday night, I'm going to a special screening of Karate Kid 2 with Tamlin Tomita.
Well, I'm going to see MJ the musical tonight at the Pantages in Hollywood. Probably be hanging out at the Frolic Room. And tomorrow I'm going to watch the Kentucky Derby and hockey. It's hockey season. So what can you say? Oh, we were going to share stuff from the Cosm. Do you want to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any pictures or embarrassing
let me pull.
things you can show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a moment here.
Okay, cool. Hey, A Night at the Cosm.
A Night at the Cosm. Here we go. Do you what is this?
Yeah, I can see it. It's great.
Okay, no, it's just StreamYard. Stupid StreamYard is pulling.
Stupid StreamYard.
Okay, here we go. So we went to see in Cosm Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first one. And if you're not familiar with the Cosm, it's Screen X on steroids.
Yes.
You know, in Screen X, you have the screen, and then on the wings of the screen are now shot footage to extend the experience. This one's 108 degrees, meaning to the left, to the right, and above you and behind you.
It's
the environment of this movie. This is your first time. Do you want to say anything
first
about
time. So we got, it's like stadium seating all down.
It's
You've got
sports bar
booths,
seating in a way.
Sports bar. It feels like you're at a sports bar. The screen is in front of you. It's above you, and the screen enhances based on what's happening in the film, where it really and during certain scenes, they really go all out. Like Harry's owl comes to visit. There's owls that deliver letters. You know, in the early scenes from the first Harry Potter, he's delivering the letters, and you suddenly see the letters coming through the slot, the chimney, and all over the place, and they're everywhere. You're surrounded by these letters going everywhere. They really use narratively the things that are happening from the movie expand all around you.
And it's not as distracting as you might think it is. They really do a good job of blending, when the Harry and Dudley go to the zoo, and there's a snake. You'll see that there's the body of the snake, underneath the screen, and when the snake moves, the body moves with it, kind of enhancing that. But this is So here's the part where Harry's under the stairway, and we're on the street. And at the point where the owls come, this whole screen is full of owls on cars. Here's Diagon Alley. Is that right?
Yes.
Here's Diagon Alley. So they just kind of expend things. To me, because it's so the screens are all around you, it really does feel immersive.
I want to go back and see The Matrix and the other films.
Yeah, Willy Wonka.
I mean, having done, obviously we're invited as press. I would pay for this for sure. I would never go see a movie I haven't seen, but if I've seen a classic that I've seen a lot, many times, I would go experience it this way. Yes, in Hogwarts, when they're sitting down for their supper, you see the candles floating everywhere. I mean, they're above you. You look straight up. I kept nudging you and saying, "Look behind you." I mean,
it's kind of amazing because the screen goes. You're in a dome, a half dome or sphere, and so they animated that way so that when you're looking directly above you, you're seeing the bottom of the candle and not just some image stretched above you.
And not only that, I'll say
I don't know what that was.
They had a special meal that accompanied that they brought out during certain parts. So when the snake scene was on, they brought out a long breadstick with cheese.
Yeah. And
Right.
then we got
with
shepherd's
the
pie
sticks.
for lunch.
Then we got shepherd's pie when they were eating. Then we got chocolate frogs at the end for dessert. So it was a whole meal. And then they had different cocktails for every house. Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and
Gryffindor. Come on.
And I tried every cocktail, which was a mistake.
Yeah.
So,
So here's the
that's
scene
good.
from the stairway room. I mean, look, this is pretty good. Look, I think the best part of this, I think here's Quidditch, of course.
Oh, the Quidditch.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene in was amazing. It was amazing.
Okay. Oh yeah, look at that.
I mean, those photos do not do it justice.
Yeah. Because
Not-
there's still so much more screen surrounding you. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, look at that image.
Yeah. And it's let me share the website, Alan.
Yeah.
They've got now we saw a movie. They're also playing Willy Wonka. They do Cirque du Soleil, but they'll do playoff games. It's like a sports bar. And you can see, I really want to see the Matrix.
Yeah,
at
but
Willy Wonka.
you can see games, but it's not like you're watching it on television. The cameras are on the field. You're at the 50-yard line. You're behind the goalpost. For all of them. In the baseball games, you're at
Yeah.
home plate.
Yeah, so it's like not only are you seeing the game, football, whatever, hockey, you're seeing it from right the front row. So it's like having a front row seat at a sporting event, which, considering what it costs to go to live events these days, I mean, it's the best way to experience it. So look, I'm just saying, as someone who likes these kind of, the Cosm, it's not the Sphere in Vegas, it's different, but I thought it was well worth it.
Yeah.
I would go back and I would pay for this.
Like, I would love to see. WrestleMania was done here, and you're in the ring during WrestleMania.
You know how much WrestleMania tickets are now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They're
insane.
more than I can afford.
So this is the closest you can get to actually like being there. So
Yeah.
thank you.
So
to everyone.
so it's in LA. I want to say Dallas. I could be wrong.
They're opening in Dallas, Atlanta, and
it's opening soon
Detroit.
in Atlanta, and then and then in the fall it will open in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. So check it out. And I think I took a video that's very embarrassing of
Here, hold
Alan.
on one second. I want to show the let's see.
Please.
I want to show the chess game. So iconic scene in Harry Potter, the chess game. You're on the board, and so the pieces back here, they move and they kill each other.
And it's
in sync with the movie.
It's weird. It looks 3D. It's not. By the way, no glasses required. It feels 3D. I loved it. I've checked out. Like, it's a little pricier than a normal IMAX, right? It's
Yeah,
like
the movie's $50.
50's like $50.
And
But-
there's in-seat service as well. So.
Yeah, in-seat service. They bring the food to you. It's I thought it was a blast. I definitely am going back. So there you go. That was our night.
I think the push afterwards, everyone was saying you got to do it next. They're doing Warner Brothers. They have a deal with the Warner Brothers, and I think people are saying it would be a great movie.
I would not want to see it in that experience. Maybe a different horror film, but not it. Anyways, that wraps it up for us. We'll be back on Monday with Versus, a very special Versus on May the 4th. And wait, here we go.
I'm Mad Dog for 499. I know you guys may know who I am, but may not. I'll send my resume today talking about Edge of Tomorrow. Can you let me know where to go?
Okay. Go to filmthread.com, click on contact, and that goes to Alan.
Yeah,
and
you'll
I.
take you to a form, and that'll go right to the both.
Yeah, and select what you're asking about, and we'll read your message. Thank you so much. See you Monday, Alan.
Let's get out of here.